Broadcasting from Watts Creative Studios and live on Grove Street FM, you're listening to Talk Local to Me, brought to you by the Central Virginia Business Coalition.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Talk Local to Me. I'm Heather Alto, and the Executive Director of the Central Virginia Business Coalition. And our organization, you know what? I can't talk today. I'm just going to go home. Woody, cut us off. No, our organization helps to grow and promote business throughout the Central Virginia region. And, we also want to talk about things. It's called Talk Local to Me, and we do talk local about a lot of our local businesses. But, this, for those of you who listen and subscribe outside of our area, which I know we have some that do that, we would love to hear from you. What are some things that you would like to learn about local business? And this can pertain to you as a local business owner in your area. It doesn't necessarily have to be here in the Central Virginia region, just locally, applying to you as a local business. What are some tips, tricks, things you may want us to talk about on Talk Local to Me that we can help you as a business and help you grow, promote yourself in your region? Because that is what we are ultimately here to do, is help small businesses, whether it's here locally where we can tangibly, work with your business, but even outside of the area. So if you're listening to Talk Local to Me, that is what we're here for. That is what we're about. I don't claim to be a professional in everything, but I've been working in this line of business now for about 10 years, working with local businesses. And, there are some certain things I hold it near and dear to my heart. I want to see local businesses continue to thrive, continue to grow. And I know right now, local businesses are really getting hit by so many different things. And we're constantly, talking to our businesses about what they can do, how they can, continue to thrive and grow in a market and a time that's, kind of crazy, to be honest. And so we have a Talk Local to Me Facebook page that we would love for you to come on and send us some information. Tell us what you want us to hear. Tell us what I can start to research for you and bring on guests or bring on speakers and kind of really amp up Talk Local to Me this year. We've just kind of kicked off our beginning of our second year here at Grove Street FM and Watts Creative Studios. And
That's right.
Yes, a little over a year. Yeah. So excited. You haven't kicked me out yet. It's great. Still paying the bills.
Still paying the bills. Keeping the light on.
That's right. So as long as that on-air sign is up, I'm good to go.
Yep.
But we really want to bring in speakers. If you out there listening want to come on the show with me, whether it's coming in studio or if you're outside of our area and you want to call in and it's just something we can talk about, you can actually go to grovestreet.fm and pull up Talk Local to Me. And there on our page, there is a section that you can fill out that says, I would like to be on the show. There is no cost to you to come on the show with us, to promote yourself, your business, to give us some insight, give us some tips. So we would love to hear from you, whether it's on Facebook, whether you come on go on the website and, say that you want to come on the show with us. We want to be there for you going into 2022 and helping your business grow and thrive. And that's it for me on all that. But if you're if you're listening, make sure you're subscribing to Talk Local to Me. Make sure that you are on wherever you download your podcast, wherever you get your podcast from, whether it's Spotify or Apple, or what are some of the other platforms that I don't know about?
We do Apple, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, Amazon, all the major ones. And then also, that was a good plug you did for the website, because if they go to grovestreet.fm and go to the shows and go down to Talk Local to Me, we have the player right there. So say, I don't know what a podcast is, I don't know how to download it. Go to the website. You can listen to all the episodes right there, and we even have a subscription link and everything right there. We make it easy for you.
Yeah, so you can listen to the past episodes and say, this is fabulous.
Look how far they've come. How
fabulous. Yeah, listen to that first show and be like,
Listen to that.
And then listen to them now. Still can't say the word organization correctly when they start talking. But, so speaking of local, we did have our local business awards this past week. And, it's one of the events that we do that is, to me, it's very satisfying to be able to give awards to local businesses in our area that were nominated by their peers. Other business owners or people nominated these businesses because they're doing great work in our area. And we're able to sit down and have a great meal and then really celebrate those business owners and bring them out for a night of fun. And we had a fantastic speaker that came out and talked, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about him in a minute. But I really wanted to very quickly recognize our winners this year in each of our categories, so that if you are from our area, you can check them out. So you may not have heard some of these businesses, but they were nominated for a reason. They won for a reason. But you definitely want to check all of them out. If you're not from our area, a lot of these businesses, especially if they're local, like our retail or restaurant, they have websites. You can order online. You can do all kinds of great things even outside of the area. Learn more about them. So I'm just going to kick it off. Our small business of the year went to Simply Vanilla Gourmet Cheesecakes. And, Simply Vanilla was nominated in quite a few categories. And I think small business I'm really glad they won because that just kind of encompasses everything that they do. They are a fabulous small business. If you are looking for cheesecake, and I know they do ship cheesecakes. I don't know exactly how you ship cheesecakes, but they do. And so highly encourage you to check out Simply Vanilla Gourmet Cheesecakes, our small business of the year. Our large business of the year is Foster Fuels. I think if you're anywhere on the East Coast, you know of Foster Fuels because they not only service our area, but they do a lot when it comes to disaster relief. You see them a lot on the news going out and helping when there's hurricanes or tornadoes or just kind of all over the place with help in that area. Our retail business of the year this year went to local Bedford business BVA Mercantile. They are located here in Bedford on Depot Street, and they are fabulous home decor studio. Christy and Steve Wiley, the owners, her husband actually makes a lot of their furniture in-house. Like he does it a lot with like reclaimed wood and builds things, and just great all-around business. Restaurant of the year went to the Babcock House out in Appomattox. They are, oh my gosh, it's so good. A lot of their food, it's very farm to table. They get a lot of their food locally, and it's also a bed and breakfast. So you can go there and have a staycation at the Babcock House and get some good food. Then let's see, service provider of the year went to Perimeter Roofing. So if you have any roofing needs, they are the ones to call. And our Rising Star of the Year award. So I'm laughing because Woody was nominated in that category, which I just have to say, I'm so happy that you were nominated.
I'm
because
honored and flattered.
You are
and
definitely
humbled and grateful.
And however, he did not win.
Yeah, I didn't win, so I mean, whatever, fine.
Whatever.
Great show.
He's cutting the mics off. But we actually had a tie in the Rising Star category, and that went to Build Smart Institute in Roanoke, which is a technical college. They just started about right at 2 years ago, and they help to really encourage those looking to go into the career tech field, whether it's, welding and machinist, cabinetry, I think, construction, all those different categories. They're there and serving our area. And then Prestige Kennel. And they're going to be on the show with us in a couple of weeks, but they're a new kennel out in, I say it's not really Rustburg. It's kind of like that, Evington. It's kind of like Campbell County, but you're really in Lynchburg. You feel like you're still in Lynchburg because you're not really going too far, but it's Evington. But anyway, I have been to their kennel, and it's like a doggy resort. I have to say, like, it is so nice. That's where I'm pretty sure I'm taking my pup this year when I go on vacation.
Do they have human packages that one can purchase?
I don't think so. But you know what I love about it is they have all these different, you can go there for doggy daycare too, like not you, but like you can take your dog for doggy daycare.
Yes.
And it's super cool because they have, different areas at different, dogs with different demeanors, or they play together with other puppies, but they even have a little senior lounge for older dogs, for the older dogs who don't want the hyper puppies jumping on them can go hang out in the senior lounge. And it's really nice. And all of their kennels, sometimes you go in places and you just see these little small cages, but they're big, nice, open, really nice place for your pup to go hang out. So if you're looking for doggy daycare, or it's just somewhere to board your pup while you're gone for a 3-day weekend or a full week, or month, or if you're lucky and you're just taking off a year, whatever you're doing, take a dog to Prestige Kennel. Then we had I'm trying to think of all of our awards. We have so many. Our Artisan of the Year went to Prissy Nerd. If y'all have listened, we had Tamara on the show probably about a month ago talking. She does earrings and jewelry that she does from different reclaimed pieces, and she couldn't be at the event because she was in Myrtle Beach at an actual show. So I'm gonna have to present her with her award later when she's back in the area. And then let's see, what am I missing? I feel like I'm missing some community impact award. We do the community impact award to a business that is not only just serving their members or the public, but they're giving back as well. And that went to Building Beloved Communities out of Roanoke, Bonnie Chavez and Shannon Dominguez. That is their sole purpose, is to support communities, and whether it's a business and they're helping you with business plans, or giving back to nonprofits and in all different sorts of ways. So community impact went to Building Beloved Communities. Then we also gave out our Citizen of the Year award. That went to the ever fabulous Cool Talk podcast host here on Grove Street FM, Brandon Brown, with Brown's Heating, Air, and Plumbing.
Great job.
Look at me. I know what I'm doing. So we they just recently added plumbing to their list of things that they accomplish. So congrats to Brandon. He truly deserved this year the Citizen of the Year. All the things that he does, not just for the community, but he did the whole, working with Chick-fil-A to do the Give Back program, where they gave a family a brand new HVAC system and all kinds of, great things for their home there. You constantly see Brandon sponsoring events and baseball teams and, soccer teams and hockey teams. And I don't know what else he does, but he does a lot. So we just really felt that he was very deserving. And then our Volunteer of the Year, we give that out to someone who actually has worked really hard helping us throughout the year do all the things we do. And that went to Libby Orman with Easley Hedrick Insurance. And you have heard Libby on the show, more so back at the beginning when she was calling in about the train every week. You hear Libby call in. But no, and we miss having Libby in the studio. We need to get her back in here. But she helped out at pretty much every event. She never hesitated when she was asked to be a volunteer. And, most people don't know, but most of last year she was pregnant the whole time. And she would come out. She even helped at Centerfest. And I think she was 7 months pregnant at that time, and she didn't bother coming out in the heat, and it didn't bother her. She was out there helping. And then lastly, our Roland K. Peters award, which goes out to a business in our area that we look at. It's kind of our founding fathers award. But Lulu's Closet was given to Sandy Mayberry, and just showing the growth of her business, what she puts back into the community, and all the great things that she does. So those were our winners. It seems to be like that was a lot, but I wanted to make sure they were all recognized because it's important. And again, if you heard me talk about somebody you want to learn more about, check out their websites. They all have Facebook pages. Sorry, Woody didn't win. You can still check out Woody Watts.
Yeah, for those that were nominated in categories that you love to listen to every Wednesday, we have Facebook pages too. Even though we didn't win to a worthy, competitor, it's fine. It's totally fine. I'm okay. I'll be all right. I
will say though that our winners were at the event. Woody ditched out on me.
I didn't ditch.
Actually, what happened was he won, and I just scratched his name off when he said he wasn't coming.
You give me the nameplate with my name on it, like
that's right. Yeah. Here's what you would have won. No, but also a big thank you to Alex Sheen, who came out and spoke at the event. If you haven't heard of the movement Because I Said I Would, I highly recommend that is something that you do look up online and learn more about it. Alex started this movement back when his father was diagnosed with lung cancer, and he gave the eulogy at his father's funeral called Because I Said I Would. And he talks about how after he did that, he agreed to give promise cards to anyone in the world who wanted them, just to, put it on paper, make a promise that you would do something because you say you're going to do it. Well, it went viral, and all of a sudden it just blew up. And he's been giving out millions of these promise cards all over the country since that happened. And he really just talks about the importance of making a promise and keeping that promise, whether it's in your everyday life, whether it's in your business. If you promise to have your business open during a certain time period, a certain hour, have it open. Like, be there for people. If you promise your employees you're going to do something, do it. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. We don't know what's going to happen 2 hours from now. So, when you make a promise to somebody, it's very important to follow up and do what you say you're going to do, because you want to be known for, what you actually did or what you claimed to do but didn't. And that's, I think, what's really important. Especially, I keep going back, especially right now. I just feel like, and I don't get political. I don't do any of that online, because that's not my place to push anything on anyone. But I will say right now is just a crazy time, no matter who you are and what you're doing. And so, what you can control is yourself. And that is the only thing you can control. And so do that. If you say you're going to do something, honor it, do your best to do that. Check out Because I Said I Would. It is definitely an organization that, they're raising funds for a new camp, a summer camp for kids. And you can order your own promise cards through their website. So check them out. And again, a big thank you to Alex for joining us. So now I'm done talking about all this stuff. I have in studio last week, I had Cheryl Carter with the Renaissance Theater, and I hope some of you guys went and checked out Kiss Me Kate this past weekend. I heard it was a great success. And so, I like to talk with different businesses, and we talked a little bit about the arts. And so now I want to talk about kind of local agriculture and, who we have in our area that you can go to. It's getting ready to be spring. And I know one of the things I love during the spring is going to like orchards, picking apples, picking peaches. There's so many things that fresh and local. Again, let's just say that. So I have Kathy with me from Gross's Orchard here in Bedford. Hello.
Hello, Heather. Thank you for having me on today. It's a pleasure to be here. And I just want to say thank you, Heather, for all you do to support all the businesses here in Central Virginia.
Oh,
you do a fabulous job.
Thank you so much. So Kathy and I met a couple of months ago. I got to go up to Gross's Orchard. And actually, one of the things I learned about Gross's Orchard, and I think some people don't know, they are open all year round, right?
That is correct, yes.
So they're not just an orchard that's open like, when the apples are in, I say in bloom. Are apples in bloom? Like,
We have peaches in bloom right now, actually.
Okay, so, but, they're not just like a one stop. You're just there for a couple months and they shut down until next year. They're there year round and have stuff, going on. And so that's something new I learned. And that's the thing I love about this show and about my job is I learn something new about local business all the time. You think you know, you don't know. There's stuff going on. You have nothing, you have no idea. So, Kathy, tell us a little bit about just Gross's Orchard in general, like maybe some of the history, anything like that so people who don't know about Gross's Orchard can learn a little more.
Certainly. Gross's Orchard, right now, I'm the 5th generation of Gross's Orchard. We're located off of Route 43 North as you go into the Peaks of Otter. It was established probably back in the early 1900s. Like Heather said, we are open year-round. We have peaches that start ripening around the first part of June, and we have about 27 different varieties of peaches. And then around the end of August, we start picking apples, and we have about 20-some different varieties of apples. And we have peaches and apples for you pick and you select, which is a fun thing for families to get out and do on the weekends, just to get out in the orchard and you pick.
And y'all also have the store that goes, so you're there year round with different things inside the store.
That is correct. Yeah, in this Apple Valley Country Store, you will find a large array of items. We have many jams and jellies, homemade apple butter, local honey, many candies. We have many different varieties of cider. Some people think it's just apple cider, but we have different flavors of cider from strawberry to peach to cherry apple. So it's many different flavors of cider that you need to check out.
So I'm just going to tell you right now, the peach cider Man, you got to check that out for real, because I went up there and got that. The first time I went up a couple months ago, I had the peach cider, and I took one sip. But that was like changed my life. I was like, "This is so good." I bet you I finished that before I even got down the mountain. And then last time we went, I brought my little one, and so I got peach cider, and she wanted strawberry, and she drank all of hers, and she said, "Mama, can we go back? I need to get some more." And I said, "Well, I'm not turning around right now, but oh yeah, it's so good, and I love some good cider, and so I love it when I like apple." But it's nice to have the different. But peach is phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, we keep that in stock year round.
And then produce too. They've got. I mean, it's great fresh produce. I think that's one thing people look for. You go to the grocery store and it's hit or miss. And but if you're going to a local orchard or farm, like Groce's Orchard, it's definitely, you could tell everything is fresh, and you're not going to get anything bad out of there.
That's right, Heather. We have a large selection of produce that we keep on hand year round. Right now, we're running tomatoes $1.69 a pound, so you can't beat that.
So tell me a little bit about. So April's coming up. Let's talk a little bit about your April schedule, because I know there are things really starting to kick off now at Groce's Orchard, and it'll go on throughout the spring and summer. But let's chat a little bit about your April schedule.
Okay. Yeah, April is just a beautiful time of the year, of course, and in Apple Valley, right there in the orchard, is just a beautiful time in the orchards. Right now we have the peaches in full bloom, but by April we'll have all the apple blossoms in full bloom, and I mean, it's nothing any prettier than to walk through the orchards in the springtime to see the apple blossoms in full bloom. But through the month of April, we're going to have something special every Saturday in April, just for the families to get out and enjoy. The first Saturday in April, it is just to really just put on your tennis shoes, bring a friend, and come out and just walk the orchard trails so you can see the apple blooms just up close and personal, and just enjoy that for yourselves. The second Saturday, April the 9th, Spring Valley Farms will be on hand. So you take a horse and buggy through the orchard.
Cool.
So that will be nice. And then April the 16th, we're looking forward to that day. That's going to be a fun day. We're Humankinds, we're partnering with them, and we're going to have an Easter egg hunt for all ages from 11 to 1. The Easter Bunny will be there as well for photos, and Spring Valley Farms will be there too for wagon rides through the orchard, and we'll also have Porterhouse Catering.
Oh, yum.
So that's going to be a fun day for the families.
And that's the 16th.
That's the 16th.
Okay. So we're doing our Bedford in Bloom event on the 9th here in downtown Bedford. We do a Easter egg hunt through the stores. The different downtown businesses have Easter eggs, and we're doing a Easter bonnet and bunny ear parade at the beginning through downtown. But I encourage you. So Bedford in Bloom does not just mean right here in downtown. So if you heard on the 9th, they're doing Spring Valley is going to have horse. Yeah. So Bedford in Bloom, like, go out and see like you said, the blooming of the apple trees and everything, and take a ride. I think that's one thing about Bedford County I love, is there's just so many places. It comes alive in the spring. I love the spring. It's my favorite time of year. And, seeing all of the different trees and the flowers coming up. And anyway, I'll get in a stall, be all like teary-eyed in a second. Like, it's just so beautiful. But definitely come to Bedford, take part in the Bedford and Bloom in downtown, and then head up to Groce's Orchard and take a buggy carriage ride through the orchard, or just walk through the orchard and see what they have in the store as well. Now, so, and then the 16th is y'all are doing the Easter egg hunt.
We're partnering with Humankinds.
That's cool. Yes. So I'm going to come to that. Is it just for kids, right?
Yes.
Oh, shoot.
You can come too, Heather.
I mean, I'll knock people over.
Heather brings her own basket and everything.
You watch.
She's ready to go.
I'll be out there like elbowing kids.
When does it start?
We'll let you. We'll hide eggs for you.
Funny thing is my family does that every year. We do an Easter egg hunt, and we do one for the kids, and then we do one for the adults. Yes. The adult one is hilarious. I mean, we literally are tackling each other, because we do a gold egg and a silver egg, and we're trying to find it. And then you have like that one person, because there's like the person who gets the most eggs. So like you have the one person that's like, I don't care about the gold and silver, and they're just trying to get all the eggs, and it's so much fun. I love
Someone
this time
always
of year.
leaves in an ambulance or something like that.
Well, we haven't had that happen
That's
yet.
great. Good.
But hey, I'm not ruling anything out. I'm not ruling anything out because people know I am competitive. So I'll trip you.
Gas is expensive, so those gold and silver eggs.
That's right.
now.
I think, and my aunt puts this on, and it's usually like you win $20 if you find the gold egg. It's $20, man.
I might have to come with that.
That's right. I'll let you know. I'll let you know. So, and then I know one thing that y'all did a little different with COVID coming up is you used to have different festivals, but now you're doing stuff every weekend, correct?
That's right. And we used to have, like in April, we had an Apple Blossom special, a festival that is. But with COVID and everything, we just had to really revamp everything. And we used to have the Apple Harvest Festival and the Peach Festival. But COVID just changed the world, as you know. And so we just started really spreading it out and just having special events every Saturday through the month. So that's what we're doing in April, and we'll do the same thing in July for the Peach Festival. We'll have a Peach Harvest celebration. And then in October, we have an Apple Harvest celebration. And we just spread it out and do something special every Saturday in October. And it has really worked out really well because if somebody can't come that, particular day, we got something the next Saturday. So it's really worked out well.
I really do like that y'all did that kind of just because of what you just said. I know in the past when y'all have had the Apple Harvest Festival, I don't know what it is, but I feel like there's something that I have had to do that weekend that's just something like permanent, and I've never been able to go. And so I like the fact that now it's spread out so you feel like you're still going and being a part of, an event. Not that you shouldn't just go up there and visit the orchard. You should. But I love the fact that it's y'all spread that out and made it more efficient for business. I mean, not businesses, but people to come up all the time. Now, do y'all still do the 5K?
That we do, and that is the first Saturday in November when we do that.
My son ran in that.
Oh, really?
He's 21 now. He was probably 10 or 11 when he ran that course. But we did that, and I loved. So, okay. All right. I'm just going to say this is because he's a boy, and his award was like from the Emerson Creek. Y'all used to do like the little bowls.
We still do.
Yeah. So the bowls from Emerson Creek. So it's so funny because he wins this and he's like, oh, okay. So I want a bowl. And I'm sitting here like, yes, it's an Emerson Creek pottery bowl. This is fabulous. I still have it sitting on in my kitchen on my on my windowsill, for where he won that. But, I think that was also a beautiful event too, because it was, in the fall, but, running through, it was right after Halloween. So y'all had like the hay bales and different things like that. And, so I think that gives a unique,
a lot of people say that's their favorite race actually, because it's just because of the views.
Mm-hmm. And the views are gorgeous. When you're heading up, of course you're heading up to the peaks that way. And so tell everyone, where is Gross's Orchard located while we're talking about, the views and how to get there?
Okay. Gross Orchard, I think, like I said earlier, it is located right off of Route 43 North, like you go into the Peaks of Otter. So if you're heading to the Peaks of Otter on 43, you just just follow the signs, really, for Gross's Orchard, Apple Valley, and you can't miss us.
And, are y'all building, the last time I was up there, are y'all building like a community center or adding something to the orchard? Or is that hush hush? I'm not supposed to say.
No, across the road, we have different entities. Across the road from the orchard, we have the community center that we rent out. And you can rent out that for, weddings, birthday parties, anniversaries. So whatever that you need an event for, we rent that out. We also have the Apple Valley Home Place that sits right there in the middle of the orchard. And that's it's not a bed and breakfast. That's a whole house that you rent out. You can rent out by the weekend, by the week, or however you wish. Mm-hmm.
Oh, so it's almost like an Airbnb sort of.
It is, yes.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna. I am all about the staycation where you don't go very far, but sometimes you're just tired of being in your house.
It's a perfect little getaway.
You just don't want to be at home anymore. Like I just want to look at the dishes in the sink and say, you know what? Nope. I'm going up, going up to Groce's Orchard, and I'm gonna just stay there, and hopefully someone will come do my dishes while I'm gone. Doesn't ever happen that way, but you wish it would. Now, do you still have Mountain? Is it Mountain Fruit and Produce down on 43?
Yes, my brother Ronnie Gross owns that Mountain Fruit and Produce. That is right on 43. If you're heading to the Peaks, that's right past the golf course, the country club there.
I felt like I needed to bring that up because
the apple pies,
the apple pies, yes, and the peach. Is it peach ice cream?
Peach ice cream, yes.
Oh my gosh! So if y'all can't tell, I love me some peaches. Whether it's just like a peach or peach cider, peach ice cream. Their peach ice cream is so good. And you know what? It's been a while since I've had any. I need to go get some because. But the apple pies also are fabulous.
They are good. Yeah, and we do have the peach ice cream and the fried apple pies in season. We have that at the store at Gross Orchard every Saturday through the summer and through the fall.
Now, does Groce's Orchard participate in the local, like the farmers markets as well? Because I believe I've seen you guys there too in the past.
We do. We in the Forest Farmers Market every Saturday, and then in the Bedford Farmers Market, which has been every Friday.
Okay, I knew I had, and I think so. Like if you're out and you're still wanting to get some fresh produce there, check out the farmers markets in our area. I think another thing about our region here in Central Virginia is the Forest Farmers Market and the Bedford Farmers Market they're wonderful. They are not just some small little podunk on the side of the road farmers market. These farmers markets are very well put together. They have a lot of wonderful vendors that come out, and again, you're supporting local families when you're supporting your local farmers markets.
That's correct.
Really wanted to push that out to let you guys know. And I know some right now they're doing some off-season farmers markets. I know Bedford just did one this past weekend, and I only know that because I'm just going to quick shout out Holy Heaven Cookie Company. One of our members, she creates these ridiculous cookies. I mean, they're good. They're so good, but she comes up with all these crazy cookie combinations. And so my little one on Saturday, she goes to gymnastics, and I made the horrible mistake of mentioning that Holy Heaven had made a cookie. It was a chocolate chip cookie with a peep stuffed inside for Easter. And I forget what it's called, like peepin' something, but anyway, my little girl loves peeps. So she was like she was like, I will be late for gymnastics if you'll go to the farmer's market and get me a peep cookie. So, but you can't just go and buy a peep cookie and leave, So I'm sitting there and you walk through and you've got people selling fresh bread and, jams and jellies and Little Otter Flower Farms there with their flour. And it's just so much going on. So definitely make plans to go to a farmer's market, whether you're in Bedford or whether you're in, Forest, Lynchburg area. Lynchburg Community Market downtown has a great selection. But then go out and actually visit these orchards yourself, because there's so much more than just apples that they have in the bins when you come to a farmer's market. Like Kathy said, they have all kinds of wonderful things inside of their store. My daughter went up there and she saw honey sticks. I may have to go get honey sticks every week now because she loves those things. So what do you have any thing coming up like in May that y'all have set in place, or or do y'all just kind of see how it goes with the way the apples are growing and the peaches? And
yeah, April is our, a big event through the month, and May we don't really have any events as of right now planned. But just follow us on our Facebook and Instagram page, and if we start do any events, we'll keep that posted on there. But we just start really during that month, just start gearing up for our big season of picking peaches the first part of June.
That was my next question. When is peach picking time, and when is apple? Like, when are the seasons for those?
We'll start picking peaches probably around the first part of June.
And you can come pick your own?
You can, yes.
All right, I just want to make sure, because I'm gonna be up in the peach tree. They're gonna be like, Heather, will you get down? Shaking all the peaches out. But I love some peaches. And then apples are closer towards October.
Yeah, we do have some summer apples, like the June apples and the Lodi apples, through the summer. But the main fall apples, we'll start picking those around the end of August, and we have apples that ripen up all through October. And you can pick those as well as you select.
And y'all do I know in the past we've come up there because you do field trips for like kids in our area to come up and pick apples and things like that as well.
Yeah, good point, Heather. We have a lot of school field trips that come. So if any schools out there that's looking for just a nice little field trip, we do the wagon rides through the orchard. And we have a nice big picnic area that they can stop and have a little picnic. So it's a nice little field trip for the kids.
I want to do a Central Virginia Business Coalition field trip. I'm gonna
We could do that,
Yeah,
Heather.
I'm gonna get a bus and I'm gonna be like, hey, any business members that want to go on a field trip to the orchard? That's what we need to start doing. Look, I get a new idea. I'm gonna start doing field trips to businesses like once a month.
That's actually a great idea.
It really is. And so people that want to learn more about that business can hop on the bus with us, and we just go and do like a business
And
field
learn
trip.
all the history of it. Yeah.
I love it. New idea. You heard it here first on Talk Local to Me. So we're going to start that. The CVABC bus. We'll get it going soon. We'll put it on our Facebook page. But no, but I do think that's a really cool thing to do. And I love the fact that, for me, it's something I can do with my kids. Something I can do as a family. Go up there. And I know we've packed like a picnic lunch and gone up to the peaks and then stopped back on the way down. And, there's so much that you can do, but it's definitely something you can do as, like I said, as a family and just get that quality time. I feel like a lot of times we're so much in a hurry. There's so much stress. I know me, there's times that my daughter looks at me and goes, "You're still working? Like you're working again today?" And I'm like, when am I not working? I feel like I'm always working. But you got to take that time. And sometimes just going out and being in the fresh air and go up and pick some peaches starting in June. What are you laughing at, Woody? What is so funny about picking peaches?
I know, because I was hoping you would say, because I was thinking you got to stop and smell the flowers. But I was like, I hope she changes it and says pick the peaches. Say pick the peaches. And then you said pick the peaches. And I was like, okay.
See, that's
actually right now you can stop and smell the apple blossoms.
Yes. Yeah, see?
We need some shirts too. Stop and smell the apple blossoms. Stop and pick the peaches.
Yes. That's what. See, look, we got all kinds of stuff going on.
And I keep envisioning Heather on this tour bus with like a microphone and like giving people, pointers.
Hey, let me just tell you, a few years ago when they did the celebration of the D-Day Memorial, was it like the 25th? And they had tour buses, and I was a tour bus leader.
See, I knew it. Something told me that you've done that before, because I can see you like, and on your left, you have some apple blossoms.
I can see it too.
We picked her up here, and we were like, and I had to tell them,
to your right, this is where the peaches will be.
I was like, and as we're turning into the D-Day Memorial, you'll see the Bedford Welcome Center here on your left. And,
someone doesn't have their blinker on in front of us, so they cannot drive. Thank you.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, actually, that was a blast. I would love to do that again. That was great stuff right there. But now I'm all off. Yeah, so pick the peaches, smell the flowers,
smell the apple blossoms,
get some ice cream on the way up.
Get
whatever you want to do,
and go Easter egg hunting. So there you go.
Yes, pack a picnic. I'm going to say that too. Pack a picnic. And pick peaches.
It was funny because I can't remember. I can't remember when it was. I know it was. It had to be before COVID or something like that. But Gross's Orchard. I think it was before I had the studio here. My wife and I were riding around one day, and we were just riding around. This is before I started really working in Bedford. And we came upon you. You were having a festival up there. And we just stopped. We saw a bunch of cars and we stopped, and we had the best time. And it's and we came home with like 3 bags of stuff, and we still talk about how it was just a random day that we were riding around and we saw it. And you had a ton of vendors, and it was just a wonderful time. And now that you're actually here in studio, it's funny because I'm thinking back and I'm like, man, that was such a beautiful memory that we had no plans. And then I'm hearing the plans. And I'm like, okay, I got to put that on my calendar. So that was wonderful.
Actually, one of my favorite memories of Gross's Orchard is back before COVID. It was probably a couple of years before. My daughter, my littlest, she was Little Miss Bedford County. They used to have like a county fair. Do they still have the county fair?
They didn't.
Last year, I think they didn't.
Yeah.
But this year, I think they are planning it again. Anyway, but she was Little Miss Bedford County Fair. And one day, it was like 3 different things going on. So there was the Mountain View Vintage Market, the Sedalia Chili Cook-Off, and your Apple Festival, I think, in October. It was like but they were all the same day. And so I was like, all right, girl, strap your crown on. We got to go.
Got to make the rounds.
And so
get in the bus.
we did get on the bus. And so we did. We went out to Mountain View Vintage Market for a little bit and walked around, and we went to the chili festival. But then coming to Groce's Orchard, though, I got some of the best photos of her, out and about with her crown, because we were there with the trees and all the apples. And then y'all had the pony rides. And so I had her, on the back of a pony, getting her pony ride with her little crown on. And, she took, I had some pictures of her, like, picking apples. And it was such a fun day. And that's one of those things, like, that's the sort of thing that sticks in your mind that you don't forget, and you do it as a family, and you're doing it out at a local business. And, there's a lot of things that I've done with her that I can't recollect in my memory. Like, but things like that you do. And I think when you're out making memories like that, it's great. And you have those real specific, places that you've been to do that. And I just, that's probably like one of my favorite memories of being out there. So there you go.
I love hearing these stories from both of you, because that's what has built Groce's Orchard, is just the making memories. Like you said, is just getting out and making memories. And that's what the orchard is about. And it's for families just to get out on the weekends after you've had a long, hard week, to get out with your families. And just, if you just want to take a stroll through the orchard, that's what it's there for. So we invite you to come out and take a stroll through the orchards.
Yeah. And like you said at the very beginning, you're fifth generation. So this is a family farm. It's not just, somebody's come in from out of town and decided they wanted to just grow some peaches and apples and bought a farm, and there they go. I mean, this is a family owned business. And I continue to stress the importance of supporting family owned business. And even if, and I don't know what y'all's prices look like now versus, a year or so ago with, inflation and all the stuff going on, but it might be a little bit more expensive to support local, but keep in your mind that money is coming back to your community and supporting the economy in which you live. So if you purchase something for less off of Amazon or some random place in another country, you are not supporting here. You are not supporting local. You are not supporting Kathy. You are supporting someone else in another area, in another country, more than likely in another country. So spend the extra $1, spend the extra $2, whatever. Eventually it's gonna come around, and you're gonna be boosting where you're at, and you're gonna, it's gonna be helpful. So
that's very true. And working in our local business, I really support local business. And, whether it's our business or just a business uptown, I really strive in supporting that local business.
So tell everyone one more time, Facebook page, website, how can they get a hold of you or find out more about Groce's Orchard before they come up there? And then again, just one more time where the location is.
Okay. You can check us out on our website, which is www.groceorchards.com. You can follow us on our Facebook or Instagram page. We usually try to keep that updated with all our special events or anything that we may be picking at the time. And we are located off of Route 43 North as you go into the Peaks of Otter. We hope to see you soon.
And be on the lookout for the CVABC field trip bus coming to an area near you. Y'all think I'm playing. Y'all are going to laugh when y'all see it.
I don't think you're playing.
I'm scared next week she's going to pull in some bus
okay.
on 2 wheels.
I'm going to be on the lookout.
Yep.
I'm going to let you know right now, my good friend Andy at Harmony Day Support has already told me I could utilize their bus if I needed to for things.
She already has a bus.
I already have a bus.
I've got the speakered microphone out in the warehouse. We've got this covered.
And now that's on. Can we get a speaker that sits on top of the bus so I can talk while as we're riding by? Like, hey everyone, this is the CVABC bus supporting local. That's what we're gonna do. It's gonna be great.
We're gonna be watching out for you, Heather.
It's gonna be like like a cash mob bus. We go to a different place and we spend money locally.
What are those party buses in like the cities, like in Atlanta and everything, where they have like a double decker? You can rent it out.
Yes.
You can could you imagine that going around Bedford? Like
we'll be like, get on the bus. We're gonna be drinking peach cider.
Yeah. And Heather's got the microphone sitting up top. Yes, we can make this work. We can make this.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And then we can have a whole new podcast just from the bus.
Yeah.
I'm gonna live stream that. That's gonna be fantastic.
Talk local from the bus.
Yep.
That's what we're gonna do. So thank you, Kathy, for coming on with me today.
Thank you,
and
Heather.
giving me my fabulous new ideas. And we are really quickly gonna just our Empower Women series is coming May 19th. Tickets went on sale as of yesterday. You do not want to miss this event. We have 200 tickets. They will sell out. 4 breakout speakers, 1 fabulous keynote speaker that we are bringing in from outside of our area. $99. That includes your breakfast, lunch, and a full day of just uplifting and empowering women and speakers. Check us out, www.cvabc.org for more information and to purchase your ticket. Thank you so much for listening to Talk Local to Me. Again, subscribe, go to grovestreet.fm, and leave us your thoughts and feelings or anything you want to hear more about in the upcoming months.